Yo, what's good guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at Curve. Curve is a way of streamlining your wallet by loading up all your credit and debit cards into just the one card. So the idea is that you only ever need to carry your Curve card. So we're going to have a look at it, see how well it works and see if it's worth you guys getting for yourselves. Now there are different membership options, including both free and paid monthly versions. However, we're just going to be looking at the free version today. Now before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell so that you never miss a video. Now let's get into it. So like I said before, the purpose of Curve is that it streamlines your wallet. So it does this by allowing you to load up different credit and debit cards onto your one Curve card, and then when making a payment all you need to carry is your Curve card, and through the app you select which debit or credit card you want the payment to come from. So it's a really simple idea and it allows you to leave all your credit card and debit cards at home and just carry your Curve card on you at one time. So if you do want a Curve card, it's really simple to get. All you do is download the app and fill in all your details, which takes about 5 to 10 minutes. And then they'll simply send you a card in the post within the next few days. And at the moment they are doing a deal. If you sign up through a referral link, you will actually receive £5 in Curve cash. And you can spend this anywhere that accepts MasterCard. So if you do want a referral, I'll leave my link in the description down below and you can get that £5. So once you've got your card, it's all really simple to use as it runs entirely through the app. And you can load up as many credit or debit cards as you want onto your Curve card, and then you'll be able to spend using your Curve card with any of those. So it's really easy to add a card. You can simply use the scanner or type in the card details, and then it takes about 2 minutes to do. It's really simple to select which card you want to pay with. All you have to do is go onto the app and click the card that you want to use, and you can change this whenever you want. Now as you might expect, there are also a lot of useful features within Curve, so you can lock and freeze your card whenever you want, so in case your card falls into the wrong hands and you don't want people to make payments with it. And there are also really useful budgeting tools and expense tracking. So again, all through the app you can actually take pictures of your receipts and mark them with the payment, so you can keep track of all your finances really easily. Now this will be really useful if you have a lot of business expenses, so you can keep everything in one place without having to hold on to all those physical receipts. Now I think one of the best features that Curve do offer is that they allow you to go back in time. So what that means is, if you use your Curve card to make a payment, but you've accidentally taken it from the wrong account and you wish that you'd done it from another card, you can actually go back in time and change where the payment came from. However, you are limited to going back in time once per transaction. But overall it's a really cool feature which I think works really well. Now as well as paying for things, you can obviously withdraw cash from an ATM using your Curve card, because obviously you can have debit cards loaded up as well as credit cards. But just be aware, always make sure that you have a debit card selected when you are withdrawing cash from a cash point, because if you withdraw cash with a credit card selected, you will probably incur some sort of fee that the credit card companies charge for withdrawing cash from an ATM, and the go back in time feature won't actually work to undo this charge. Now something else that's really cool about Curve is that they actually offer cash back. So for this free account we're looking at, you actually get 1% cash back for the first 3 months of having the card on 3 selected retailers. And you can choose any 3 retailers that Curve are affiliated with through the app, and they have a large list which you can choose from. So they have things like Amazon, supermarkets, restaurants, so all the places really that most people will be spending most of their money. Now I think 1% cashback is really good, as that is on par with the top Amex cashback, but Curve is actually accepted everywhere, which Amex isn't. However, you are limited to earning £300 of cashback, but realistically you probably won't reach that in the first 3 months. So for me, I went with a couple of supermarkets and Amazon, as that's where I spend most of my money per month, buying things like food and fuel. So like I said earlier, you can also get an additional £5 if you sign up using a referral link. So again, I'll leave mine in the description below if you do want to sign up for Curve. Now as well as this cashback that you'll be earning through Curve, any credit cards that you have loaded up into your Curve account which you're spending with, you'll also receive any rewards or cashback that credit card offers. So you essentially get double points. So I've currently got my Virgin Atlantic credit card loaded into Curve, as well as my Tandem 0.5% cashback. So I've chosen Tesco as one of my cashback retailers in Curve. So when I pay for something in Tesco using my Curve card with my Tandem card loaded up, I'll get 1% cashback from using Curve, and I'll also get 0.5% cashback onto my Tandem credit card. So for those first 3 months of having your Curve card, it's really worth using. So one of the drawbacks of the Curve cashback is that it can actually be quite difficult to spend. So although you're earning this cashback in your Curve account, you can only buy something of a value equal or lower than the amount of Curve rewards points you have. You can't split it across different cards, and you also can't use the go back in time feature. And also, as you might expect, you can't withdraw this cashback from a cash point either. So honestly, I do think all this is a bit annoying, as it might take some people a long time to earn the cashback, and if you haven't earned very much, you might find yourself buying something small just to use it up, which kind of defeats the whole point of having the cashback, as it's encouraging you to spend it on something you wouldn't normally buy. That being said, the cashback is still a nice addition. One of the other things that's really good about Curve is that it's really good for travellers. So when using your Curve card abroad, there aren't any fees for making transactions. Now this is really cool if you don't have a dedicated travel card, as for standard credit and debit cards they usually slap a big fee on for any transaction when you are abroad. But Curve allows you to actually get around this entirely, so any card you would normally be charged an additional fee for using it abroad, you actually won't if you use it through Curve. So this means you can actually use your favourite rewards credit cards when you're abroad. So obviously there is a slight catch, as you might expect, so you are limited to spending the equivalent of £500 per month. After that, you'll then be charged a 2% fee, and it's also the same deal for withdrawing cash when you're abroad, except you're limited to £200. Now it's also worth bearing in mind, when you are abroad using your Curve card at weekends, you will be charged a fee of between 0.5 and 1.5%, and this is basically because the UK foreign exchange market is closed at weekends, so they'll take Friday's rate and then slap that fee on when you are using your card at weekends, which is a bit annoying. But overall, having a Curve card is really useful if you do travel a lot, as it will save you some money on fees if you don't have a dedicated travel card, especially for people that take a lot of short-term trips and maybe mid-week business trips. But that being said, if you do travel a lot, it's definitely worth getting a dedicated travel card. Good alternatives to look at are Starling Bank, the Tandem 0.5% cashback credit card, and the Halifax Clarity credit card, as you won't have the same spending limits as you do with Curve. So that pretty much covers all the features, but now we just need to look at some of the drawbacks and some of the things that you should be aware of. So like I said earlier, be very careful when withdrawing cash from an ATM. You will be charged a fee for whatever the credit card you're using charges, and this is where the go back in time feature will not work. So just always make sure if you are withdrawing cash, always have a debit card selected. And something I've not really gone over is the security. The app itself is super secure. You have to type in a PIN to get in, just like any other mobile banking app that you would use. So Curve also offer their own customer protection when making purchases. Now this protection covers you for up to 100 grand, which is really good. However, using a credit card or debit card through Curve will actually nullify any of their customer protection that the banks or credit card companies offer you. So you'll be fully reliant on Curve's customer protection. Now this isn't a huge deal, as Curve's protection is really good for any standard purchases. However, it's worth reading the fine print if you're making a big obscure purchase, and you might actually be better off using your standard credit card, as their cover is likely to be slightly more superior. But for everyday purchases, Curve's cover is great, and you shouldn't need to worry about it. Now one of the things I think is really disappointing about Curve is that they have no link with Amex. Now it's not actually their fault, as American Express cards used to work with Curve, and Curve are actually trying to get that feature back, as you can see on their website. But that being said, it's just really irritating not being able to load up your Amex onto your Curve account, because it essentially means that you can't streamline your wallet down to just your Curve card if you do have an American Express card as well. You will have to carry both. So the main selling point of having all your cards in one just isn't quite there yet for me. Now I've been using my Curve card for a while now, and I've found another really annoying thing about it, is that you can't actually use it at pay at the pump fuel stations. The only way of making the payment with your Curve card is if you go into the kiosk and pay there. Now actually that might sound really minor to some people, but say you're on a long journey through the night and the only fuel station that you can find, the only option is to pay at the pump, and the kiosk is closed. If you just have your Curve card, you won't actually be able to fill up with fuel. So again, it just reinforces the fact that you can't rely fully on your Curve card, and it's definitely worth carrying at least another credit or debit card with you at all times. And also, as I mentioned earlier, spending the Curve cashback rewards is slightly more difficult than you might originally expect, and that again is something just to bear in mind. So with all that considered, is it worth getting a Curve card? Short answer, yes. I think it's a really useful thing to have, and I think a lot of the features are really great, and I'm sure that they'll be continuing to improve these features in the future. However, obviously there is room for improvement, one of which being getting Amex back on side and making sure that you can actually use your Curve card everywhere, like at pay at the pump fuel stations. So obviously for me, as I use my American Express card quite a lot, I will have to continue carrying both cards around. But overall, it will be keeping my wallet slightly thinner and easier to manage. But obviously you guys now know the information, so you can decide for yourselves whether or not you want to get Curve. And again, I'll leave my referral link down below if you do decide to sign up and you want that free £5. So yeah, that pretty much does it guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video or feel like you learned something new, please drop a like, as it really helps me out. And let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Will you now be getting a Curve card, or do you think it's not something for you? And like I said before guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell so that you never miss a video. And as always, if you do have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Instagram, and I'll put it on screen now and in the link down below. But yeah, that does it for today guys, so take it easy and keep saving.